it's Guido coming at you with a tactics talk, and today we've got an after action for you guys on the 100 Battle Challenge with the Cheeto right there. A Tier 7 Japanese tech tree, amazingly, tech tree TD, and it is one of the best tanks in the game, pound for pound, at tier, all those kinds of things. A very enjoyable tank to play. I played 100 battles. We talked a little bit about this on Coffee Talk, so some of this might be a repeat for some of you guys, but 66% win rate in this bad boy. Check these numbers out. I was able to get over 1,000 XP on my way to 1,100 average. We have 66%, as noted exactly, interestingly. 59% battles survived. You survive 59%, you probably have a pretty good win rate. 73% hits, which is pretty good for the gun. 2.98 damage, 4.44 destruction. So for every time I died, I killed nearly 4.5. That is up there. This is the one that really blew me away. I wouldn't have guessed 4.44, but I knew the damage ratio was good. When I saw the armor use efficiency, that one really took me aback a little bit, and that is significant in terms of this number, the 59% battle survived, right? So the armor is extremely good. We are approaching 1.0 on the armor efficiency, and that is where the heaviest armored vehicles sit. So this is a assault TD with some good mobility, a good gun depression, and actually has good armor, right? So it's the whole package, to be honest. The only thing, as I mentioned at Coffee Talk, this doesn't necessarily have is a high alpha, and that's about it. That's really the only drawback, and it's not even a drawback because it fires so fast. Think things like maybe the Su-122-44. And be honest, it's a little bit better than even that tank. Average experience, as noted, I was averaging 1,923 damage per game, which is at my tier 8 levels for a lot of my, and more than some of my tier 8 mediums. And a good, I don't remember what it was, maybe we'll look it up here in a second, but it is significantly above the average DPG for everybody across the board. And that is extremely high for me. I want to say it's over 200 more than the closest, which is the Su-122-44, for me anyway. So this is an easy tank to play, my friends. 4,923 was max damage, and I got a maximum experience at one point of 2,153. I don't know, average enemies destroyed, 1.82. Just an absolutely amazing tank. How did I have it set up? I've cleared the stuff off. I will tell you, though, I was running a rammer, I was running vents, and an IA. Rammer to get the firepower out. TDs, especially casemates, tend to not have vert stabs, so didn't run that. I did run vents, and then I ran an IA, which brought the dispersion down even more. It was a very accurate gun. It's sitting at .32 in my garage without any equipment on it, or food. So I did run food as well. So run food, run vents, run an IA, and this dispersion comes down really nicely. Really nicely. Just an all-around great little tank, and I was running large kits right there. So that's how I did with it. That's how I had it set up. Let's take a look at a game. Oh, good. The setup's right there, over there. As you can see, rammer, vents, IA. I did run a fire extinguisher directive, as I didn't have an automatic fire extinguisher. I didn't have any problems with fires in this. I may have been lit on fire. I don't remember it. Probably was somewhere in the 100, but it's not like it was happening a lot, and running the Onigiri. Top tier, no 5s to beat up on, so 6s and 7s. This is a great setup, especially if you look at this here. We're on Himmel's Outpost Dorf. There are no heavies over on the other side other than some tier 6s. So let's see this. I thought this was a good example of just what a bully this thing can be. Now granted, this is not a bottom tier game. Could have showed you those. I did fine in those. I never loaded into a tier 9 battle and went, oh crap. Clearly I'd rather be in a tier 8 or a 7 or be top tier like this. That's always nicer. But I always felt like I could be effective, and it was. I mean, the thing is it just works all around. You do have to watch out, my friends, for the hatch right there. So there is a weak spot. That thing does stick up. It is on the right side, so when you're peeking around to the right, it does expose itself. You'd rather kind of peek around to the left if you could. Clearly on this position here, I'm going to have to peek around to the right and expose that thing. I've got myself the KV2, the 150, and the 3002M. I'm just going to drive down here, put myself in position, and see how we go. I'm basically running it as a heavy. You take a look at the setup and the matchup in this particular game. We can run it as a heavy. Nice zoom in. Look at that. Okay, yep, he did pin me. Good on him. Question is, did he hit my hatch or did he go into... Yep, right there. All right, so that lower plate is vulnerable, and it's fairly large, you can see. So we got a nice little shot into me from there. Nice fast reload. You know what's great about a fast reload like this, my friends, is you can then reposition and have a reasonable expectation of out-reloading him. So because I knew I was probably going to reload quicker, I'm going to wait right there already aimed in. And that develops, or that gives me now an advantage in the poke situation. If there's more than one over there, that's a different situation. But if we look at it, it's only the CS44 for the moment. And we'll just keep an eye on how that develops. I was thinking about shooting him in the back, but we're not going to pin that. There we go. Okay, so the KV2 backs out. We'll take that shot at him. And unfortunately, we bounce. So now there's two. That changes the calculus on the poking. It's also a KV2. Although I think, as I was looking at it, I believe that KV2 has the small gun. We'll find out when we get closer. Tank has decent mobility. It's not a sprinter by any means, but it can get around, which is very nice with a casemate. We have the middle, guys. We have the middle. See, the WZ-131 owns the middle. This is one of those mini-map SA things that you can gather by looking at it. That means that other than where the 3045 is, and yes, I could be shot from there, or potentially on this corner here, I have a reasonable expectation of getting down this road without being shot in the side too much. Then I find this guy, nice zoom in. I mean, it's nice and fast. Whack, 315. So we drop that on the OI, he misses. Notice when I back up, I put a little angle on it and did a little bit of wiggling like this, just to make it hard for him to go after that upper hatch. I'm going to try to pixel snipe this guy's shoulder if I can here, I think. He doesn't look like he's coming at me, so we'll just kind of go here. Let's see if this works. Nope. A little high. Probably should just be shooting regular AP if I'm taking low percentage shots like that. That missed, unfortunately. It's kind of a waste of time, to be honest, right there. I find the Pollack moving, but he is around the corner, and we'll keep on trucking. The enemy team is pushing quite a bit right here, and so we're a bit outnumbered if you look at it. The 01, the 3485, the CS44, the KV2 moved up, so the three of us, now we got a 3002 back there. So there's a lot of guys stacked up. Maybe it's a little more even than I thought, but of course the 3002 is really kind of out of position to do a whole bunch for us. Pollack shoots at us and he's out in the open, so he's going to pay for that. Look how fast I can just turn and zoom in. It's just very comfortable tank. When people say things like comfortable, it's that kind of thing. And even without it having a turret, and that's remarkable for a casemate TD to be fairly comfortable in terms of maneuvering and getting your gun online. Oops, missed him initially, but we get a shot on him. That's going to go ahead and be a bit of a low roll, but he goes by and he eats two shots. Now I get hit by the 3045. Oh, that's unfortunate. He gets two on us. Now he is inside my reload. We'll thump him for one. So we don't really want to stand in on him too much. He's going to get 2-for-1s on us. Although he's got a much lower alpha, he's still going to get a 2-for-1. No, I'm not, how would I put this? I am not over full of hit points with this tank. I've only got 1,000 to work with, so we don't want to give them up willy-nilly. In fact, standing in for the second 30-45 shot was probably not a great idea. Those are some hit points I could have got back or could have afforded to not lose. We find him. I don't know. This guy is sort of... I don't think he really has a good idea what he's doing, but he takes us kind of a snap. A bit of a rush shot, to be honest. I guess that's better described as a rush shot versus snap. He does track me, and I don't have a kit. Watch out, guys, when you're running your casemates and you're getting aggressive with your casemates. Pay attention to your kits a bit closer than you might otherwise, because what you don't want to have happen with a casemate is get tracked, use your kit, push in for another shot, and have someone else track you. Now, that may just happen based on being aggressive and attempting to make something happen, but there will be times when you look at that and go, you know what? Let me just wait a minute. It's not imperative that I push forward right now, and let's be cognizant that we don't have a repair kit to get this thing fixed. And if there's multiples of them, it's even worse, right? Even worse by miles, and then I get permatracked and killed. So it is something to think about with a casemate, and really even with a turreted tank, because sometimes a turreted tank can get what's the word I'm looking for? Can get pinned down and its turret or its gun cannot come online. Now this guy's in trouble. He shows his back. Look at that. I'm not even really zooming in. I mean, it's just that accurate of a gun. It doesn't have a whole lot of negative bloom and movement on the gun while you're moving. It's not bad at all. I take a bad shot here. I should have closed this guy out. Let's just talk about this. I don't know why I'm aiming at that. That is not what I should have aimed at. What I should have aimed at is this. With the pen this thing had, I would have shut that guy down. He tracks me. I don't know if he intended to do that or not, but that was the effect. And then I ricochet, kind of rush a shot, and he's able to get his little shoulder out of the way. We've got 3 kills and 2,300, 2,375 on the damage. And it's a romple stomp, right? But the Assault TD's out in lead, man. Getting it done. A little bit worried about the T-150, but he's moving around. So that's good. Look at this. We'll just let this aim in and see if we can't. Boop. Nice of him to turn his turret a little bit and widen out the pixels that I get to aim at. That was very nice. Looked like I was going to have to go after his hatch, but then he turned his turret. Makes a little bit more area for me to shoot. Or maybe for the dispersion to decide whether I'm going to hit, that kind of thing. They have a lot of TDs left. I'm not 100% sure where they all are. I know where 3 of them are, and all of a sudden now I know where they all are because the other 2 have died. So the Su-100's last seen anyway over on the hill or near the hill. The Jackson's on the hill. The Su-100 has moved up. Unknown where he is right now. The Su-100Y hits hard, and he can nearly kill me. I don't know if he can high roll 500, but he can maul me for sure. And then there's an M44, but we'll just drive up and over. Let's take a look for. Oh, there's the Su-100. See if we can get a shot on him. Not quite yet. He's making a runner. No, no factor. He's dead. And we will push on in. There's the Jackson. There's the Su-100 M1. We'll swing around, see if we can get a shot on this guy. He's zing, zing. Oh, nice zoom, nice zoom. We'll just whoop. And unfortunately, I was shooting HE because I was expecting to get into the TD right there. To be honest, with 315 hit points, probably should just be shooting AP. A little bit of a high roll, and I take this guy out. I believe it's 300 alpha. Is that right? Or is it 320? Oh, wrong shell. 320. So we're going to actually miss. What I love about this is I missed, but the thing's reloaded so fast, all the other guys charging in aren't going to get a shot on him. The Hellcat missed as well, it looks like. Because he got shot, stunned, and it looks like his track broke, so his gun swung around, and he missed, so eventually get our shot off. 2,867 damage, 220 bounced, no assist in there, 5 kills. And just a great example of this tank's ability to get to the front, to be effective in the front. Noted, top tier, this is important. And really no heavies other than a couple tier 6 heavies. But in these situations, it can absolutely do it. And as a support to a heavy push, even if there were tier 7 heavies in this particular game, I probably would have gone down there anyway. Vice sit on this hill. Say if I was on this spawn, I guess I was on this spawn. Sit on this hill over here in the west. If there were top tier heavies, or even if there were tier 8s, I might even think about going over there. But that being said, if you looked at the match and you were bottom tier, say you were 1 tier down against tier 8s and they had a bunch of significantly good heavies, you're not bothered actually with the Cheeto SP to go down here to this spot because it can do the sniper thing. It really can. So really, fellas, it's just a very comfortable tank. And I don't think there is a jump up from one tier to another more stark than the tier 6 G-Row to this thing. The tier 7 Cheeto. It's pretty unbelievable. The 6 is a miserable, slow, albeit hard-hitting TD with not a lot going on for it. Like, literally overused word that's literally overused. Honestly, everything that makes the Cheeto good, the G-Row doesn't have. The only thing you might argue is it's a pretty good alpha for its tier, and that is it, my friends. It's everything the G-Row sucks at, the Cheeto is amazing at, to be honest. All right, there you go. That's my Hunter Battle Challenge update after action report for the Cheeto. If you haven't gone up this line, you might want to skip the 6. If you like playing all the tanks, go ahead and go for it. You'll know what I mean if you do play that thing. This thing, highly recommended. That's all I've got for today. Thanks for supporting the channel. We will see ya.